Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another Tech Tip Tuesday. I'm Stephanie with Archangel Education and Technology, and this week we are celebrating National STEM Day. That's right, today, November 8th, 2022, is National STEM Day, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate with you all than to talk about stream infused literacy. Before we begin, I want to give a big shout out to my friend and co presenter at the National Catholic Educator Association Conference, Kayla Dellinger. Kayla was integral in creating this unit that we presented, and I want to make sure that I give her props for all of her hard work when talking about stream infused literacy. So let's get into it. What is stream infused literacy? When we talk about stream, we talk about science, technology, religion, engineering, arts, and math. And the R in stream can be interchangeable. For our purposes today, we're talking about religion, but it can also mean reading. It can also mean robotics. You'll see a lot of different terms used, but basically the idea of stream is the bringing together of subjects to create a cross-curricular experience for students, and this just makes learning so enjoyable and so engaging for our students. When we talk about why we should be incorporating stream into our content, of course it's cross curricular, but it allows teachers to work with other teachers. It allows the possibility for multiple grade levels to work together. It allows for those teachers that students may only see once or twice a week, like a technology teacher or an art teacher, to be brought in to the lessons on what the students are learning in the classroom every single day. It's project based and it's learner focused. We know that a lot of students don't necessarily test well with a pen and paper, with multiple choice, true and false, fill in the blank. Some students panic and have anxiety about that, and they really can't show what they know on assessments like this. So that's why it's important to have a variety of assessments to test what students know and so they can show what they know. This allows for grading of project based learning, and it can be adapted for different grade levels. I've seen project based learning go from pre K all the way through high school. And so I think it's a great opportunity to bring in lots of different types of kinesthetic, auditory, visual learning. This is also a great opportunity to differentiate your tiered assignments. These specifically, I want to talk about extension activities for students who are more advanced or students who are early finishers. It is really important to have work that students can do that doesn't push them ahead in the curriculum or doesn't push them ahead in grade levels, but it allows for a more uh, deeper connection to the content for students who have mastered, you know, uh, content on a pre-assessment, and they have early finishers. They have the mastery of the concepts, but it can allow them to go deeper into the concepts and allow them to study the concept more in depth. So let's talk about how to choose a book. When we talk about stream infused literacy, we want to start with the literacy, and then we're going to connect the stream to a particular topic. We can look at novels, short stories, picture books. One of my favorites to do is fairy tales. Fairy tales connect with the students from early pre-K all the way through 12th grade, and especially with the older students, you can get into the Grimm's fairy tales and the real life written versions of those fairy tales and how they didn't necessarily always have a happy ending. But it's a great opportunity to start with the literacy and then bring in all of the other topics and connect your curriculum to the book so that everything revolves around one unit. So you want to start with a book that you enjoy. What is something that all the students can connect to? It can be a familiar story or it can be something totally new. You can look at what's exciting for them, characters, themes, events. You want to find a focus point and then build on that focus point. So identify the problem and then bring in your curriculum connections. The example that I want to look at today is called Those Shoes by Mary Beth Bolts. This is a great book for students of any age, but I think it really connects with students who are in middle school. This type of book allows students to think about what's really important in their life, and you get to discuss with students needs versus wants. So, this is a story about a boy named Jeremy, and everybody in Jeremy's school is getting new cool shoes. Jeremy's situation is such that he is living with his grandmother, and they just don't have the money for new shoes, expensive shoes at that. And so we follow Jeremy on this journey as he learns about needs versus wants, and then he also learns about the joy of giving. So we start with a real life problem, and that problem is that shoes are necessary. We must have shoes for everyone across the world, and we know how in need many people are, even in our own country. So we talk about how can we help to provide shoes for those in need. So there's our central problem. We have a book that identifies a problem, and then we bring it to the real world and we make a text to real world connection. So when we talk about stream, now we're going to look at the different aspects of shoes. And that's how we're going to connect science, technology, religion, engineering, art, and mathematics to our main concept problem that we find in the literature. So with science, we are testing materials to determine which would be the most durable in different conditions. If Jeremy is going to get a set of shoes, his grandmother is going to want a pair of shoes that last him, not something that falls apart very quickly. So, what are the impacts on the environment of the various materials from shoemaking? And how durable are they? In technology, you can research and learn about various communities in need. How are shoes made? What materials are used in shoes? What makes them durable versus something that falls apart very easily? In religion, you can host a shoe drive. You can donate the shoes to a local homeless shelter. You can also work with various organizations. One of my favorite that I've gotten to work with in the past is called Soul Hope. And Soul Hope is a service project where shoes are created for those across the globe that are in need out of used jeans. And it's a really cool project. With engineering, you can build a model of the shoes that you have designed. So have students on a piece of paper design a shoe, and then they actually have to build a model of it. And then, always offer the bonus points for a student who would actually wear those shoes for a day, and talk about, are they durable? Are they wearable? What are the bonus benefits? What are the negatives? In art, that's where they would design those shoes. So maybe they could, look at drawing on a piece of paper their shoe, and then you can get an organization to donate some white shoes that students can then uh, draw on it. You can also have students use recycled materials to actually build a shoe out of those recycled materials. And then for math, you bring in calculating the cost of the materials needed to create your design, and then also include the materials needed for various sizes. You have students who have very small feet, you have students who have very large feet, and so you need to calculate the difference in the materials versus the cost to make the shoe versus selling the shoe. So this is just one example of how you can bring science, technology, engineering, arts, religion, and math to your literacy lessons. This is a really amazing book, Those Shoes by Mary Beth Bolts. But I wanted to point out to you that right above me, right here, is a QR code that you can scan. So I would encourage you to go ahead and pause this video right now. and go ahead and take a picture of this QR code and scan, and it will take you to a copy of this template where you can use it on your own. You can manipulate it. You'll notice that when you do scan it, it will take you to a page that says you've been given permission to create a copy of this template. So then when you push OK or accept, it will take you to this, and just make sure that you're signed into your Gmail to make sure that you have access to it. I hope that you all enjoyed this. There are endless possibilities, and I can't wait to see what all of you are doing with your students on National STEM Day. Have a great day.